Okay, we went out of our way to swim at this very unique place. And this is the best swimming in Florida, in my opinion. I had this whole thing planned out where I was gonna like show you guys the tubing river. You know, I had like the GoPro ready to go down the river, and things don't always go as you plan, especially when you don't plan very well. So I'm Sam, this is the Living in Tampa channel. If you want to live in Tampa, reach out to us. But today's story is a little different than that kind of stuff. So my wife needed to be at a baby shower today, Saturday, in Orlando. So we decided to make a little weekend of it and get an Airbnb kind of up by this spring. And there's a lot of springs in Florida. There's a lot of big spring-fed rivers that are really fun to float down, but we have a 4-year-old and a 7-month-old. So those are a little too big for us right now. Also, our 7-month-old mostly just cries in the car the whole time, so we don't want to drive too far either. So the place we wanted to go to is called Rock Springs, and it's just like a little river run. You can like rent inner tubes. It's really cool. We went there last year and had a really good time. This time we drove up, we stayed at an Airbnb the night before in Claremont, which isn't super close to Rock Springs, but we're just cheap and it was the right price for us. And Airbnbs are always like underwhelming to me. Like they just never have what you need. Maybe it's because I'm trying to stay at least under $150 a night. Do you guys spend more on Airbnbs? It's hard for me to spend very much. Anyway, we're staying in Claremont. This is a really kind of cool area. There's a lot of lakes around here. It has some unique charm. It's rolling hills and tons of new development. It's kind of mind-boggling to me how much new development is still going on across these parts of Florida. So we stayed at our Airbnb one night, we got up the next day and drove to the entrance of Rock Springs, and it was full. Couldn't go in at all. And we had like kind of planned this trip around this whole experience and suddenly shut down. I was super disappointed, and I like told my 4-year-old like, oh, I'm really disappointed. And she said, I'm not disappointed. We can just go back to the Airbnb. So that felt like, oh, okay, who cares? But we found another place. And this place we found is more like a swimming hole. It's not like a river that you really float down. It's like just a giant natural fed, spring fed pool. And it was kind of chaotic, but also like really fun. And the water in these springs is really cold. I think it's like 72, 73 degrees year round. And of course, in summer, that's really refreshing. And the day we went, it was like 89 degrees and kind of rainy and cloudy. So it was a shock. But it really just takes like one swim across this like swimming hole to feel comfortable. And it's the right thing to call it a swimming hole, because it's kind of chaotic. It's just like a bunch of locals just there having fun, jumping in the water. It says no jumping, everybody's jumping. It's like pretty fun. I think it's pretty funny that we're like 20 minutes from Disney World, but we still chose to drive 40 minutes to this random swimming hole. It kind of shows the things that we enjoy as a family. I was in Fishhawk the other day. Fishhawk is this like big master planned community out on the east side of Tampa. And it all feels like really nice. I mean, it's kind of in the country, but still really nice. It still just felt too nice for us. Maybe it's because of like where I grew up. It's such a blue collar area. I don't know. Do you guys feel that, like where you go into an area and you feel like, oh, I feel uncomfortable here, I don't want to live in an area like this? Or do you feel like, I wish I could live in an area like this would be amazing? Last summer when we went to the spring and like floated on the river, we said we're gonna do this a bunch next summer. We had another baby. Our kids never love riding in the car, so it's hard to just like do a long drive, force them to do it just so we can go do something we want to do. I mean, it's kind of, sometimes you have to do that, but when you have the choice to not do that, it's kind of hard to push it. One thing that really stands out to me on this little trip is that there's a lot of really interesting things in Florida. And there's gonna continue to be that because there's so much development. I'm still amazed. Every time I drive by the Villages, which is obviously a retirement community, retirement town, but it's been like the fastest growing city in the US for a while. With so many people retiring, so many people entering that phase of life, that area has just been booming. Development has been like going off like crazy all around it. And that's the kind of this whole area right here. And there's a new toll road going from Tampa all the way up to I-10 on the north side of the state. All along there, there's going to be more and more development. You ready to go? Is he asleep? The reason I wanted to make this video is to show that there's a lot to do in Florida other than like the typical stuff that you think about. It's not just Disney, it's not just beaches. There's really cool places to go get out in nature, to like swim, and it's all right around the same kind of stuff. So if you're coming down here, yeah, experience that stuff you want to, but check out this other stuff too. How much do you guys clean up when you leave an Airbnb? I mean, you pay a cleaning fee, obviously, but you still don't want to get like a negative review or I don't know. What do you guys think about that?